21st century policing in our inner cities is a relentless battle against violence, robbery, drugs and vice. This makes London, with its 8 million inhabitants, Britain's crime capital. Here, the Met Police have to daily place themselves in the line of fire. Tonight on Brit Cops, the hard men and women of the Met take on West London's hardest robbers, drug dealers and organised criminals, using both brain and brawn. Go, go, go. These are CCTV images of two youths breaking into a 50 grand motor and stealing a number of valuables. They've been caught on camera and now the cops are after them. The motor vehicle crime squad think they know who one of the youths is, so at 6 a.m. they go to give him a wake-up call. As he flees the scene, the young thief ducks under the CCTV camera, but he's already left the police a valuable clue, a hooded top bearing a branded label. The territorial support group, the Met's Muscle, will take out the flat's occupants by causing as much confusion as possible.
One in there, one in there.
You got enough?
One in there.
Race tire! One in there, one in there.
Well, what we got?
There's a dog upstairs, I sound it. One detained in here.
The flat is secured and the suspect found in his bedroom.
Right, we'll check him out. Cheers, Dale.
But they still need to find the hooded top to link him to the crime. The Robbery Squad are a crack team of plainclothes police officers put together 3 years ago to fight London street crime.
I'll come round and nick you for robbery.
They like to get their hands dirty.
We've got a crew of dedicated officers. We go out there, if we're not dealing with the robbery calls as such, we're going out and stopping people, searching people and getting people's faces basically, and we're not going to back down.
They've made a big impact on their patch in West London, where reported robberies fell by a staggering 15% last year.
In order to get the best out of the stop, you have to be clear, concise and robust and show that you're not going to be walked over. And the best way to do that is sometimes with force.
Well, there's no need to step on my foot, innit? It's simple, innit? That's what I'm saying to you.
Well, maybe you shouldn't have kicked that crack pipe in anger then.
Yeah.
Really.
Having tackled street robberies by being out and about and getting in people's faces, there's nothing they won't take on.
As you drive around the streets, you're going to see certain things. And if robberies aren't coming out, then, you know, we've got to get involved in those things.
With a tip-off that a large amount of crack cocaine is hitting the streets, they want to get a piece of the action.
He's off, he's off.
You go left, I'll check this garage.
A drug dealer's on the run and members of the Robbery Squad are in hot pursuit.
You hadn't seen a white guy come running past, have you? No? I lost him.
I don't see nobody.
As soon as we come around the corner, he's gone. Disappeared. So he may have gone into one of the flats or somewhere. He'll come again.
By working the streets in plain clothes and unmarked queue cars, the Robbery Squad often know exactly what's going on amongst the gangs and dealers. The officers know they're in for a busy day when, only an hour into their shift, they've seen all the telltale signs of a fresh shipment of crack cocaine hitting the streets.
Basically, all the drug users come out, and you can always tell they're looking to buy, and that's your indication there's been a consignment come into the area.
They're all around there. There's loads of them. Yeah. There's loads of crack users around there.
No, didn't catch him, no.
Back at the raid on the youth police believe they've caught on CCTV, they found what they think is the incriminating hoodie.
We found the item of clothing we're looking for anyway, so that's quite a good result. Obviously, quite distinctive, as you saw on the briefing, that appears to be the same top.
We'll take it back and obviously we'll produce that in an interview to him, see what we've got to say, and match it next to the CCTV, which clearly shows it's him.
Despite believing they'd got their man, when it went to court, the judge dismissed the case on a technicality. Under the cover of darkness, police believe that a new crack cocaine consignment is seeping onto the streets. The cops are especially vigilant tonight. At 10 p.m, PC's Richie Hargate and Michael Payne are back where a dealer gave them the slip a few hours ago. They spot 3 men acting suspiciously.
Hey, how are you? Just come over there, mate. It looks to us like a drug deal was taking place, all right?
PC Hargate spots a small plastic bag in the darkness.
I think there's drugs down there. I'm not sure, but we're gonna have a look. Hang on, whoa, be cool.
He takes no chances. All 3 are cuffed immediately.
Stay there, don't move. Ooh.
Look at that. That is totally fucking bang on.
How many ropes is there? 50?
Yeah, a lot, yeah.
Right, you're all going to be arrested.
I've never been nicked for nothing.
It was right there where you were stood.
I wasn't the only one stood there.
Yeah, I know. He's getting arrested. He's getting arrested as well.
And where you...
With 3 suspect males and enough crack to convict one of them for dealing, the officer's next challenge is to get one of them to own up.
If I had that on me and you got rolled up, I wouldn't be standing here. I'd have took off.
Yeah.
Each one of them is saying it's not mine, it's someone else's.
How can you not say possession?
And no one's, admitting that this is theirs, understandably.
That's got DNA on it. Oh, sweet.
So they're all going to be arrested and then, they're going to be interviewed and we'll go and search their houses and go from there.
After 2 hours of questioning back at the Nick, PC Hargate is no closer to knowing which one is the dealer. At 1 a.m, the robbery squad move in on the suspects' addresses. They have a zero tolerance to drugs and so always come down hard on suspected dealers.
Basically now I've gone search their home addresses to see if we can find anything that links the drugs that we found to one particular individual.
Police officers!
An extensive search of their homes leads them to believe that 2 of them are just users.
There's paraphernalia all over the place which would say they're using crack, heroin, but we haven't found anything to relate to the offence as of yet.
It turns out the suspect they now believe to be the dealer is just a school kid. In speaking to the boy's mum as they searched her home, PC Hargate heard a tragic yet familiar tale.
He's hanging around with men, grown men, who have got criminal records as long as your arm, involved in drug supplies, involved in robberies. She wants him to go to prison. She wants him to go to some sort of boot camp because he's just out of control.
Coming up, 2 girls on a moped take on the cops in a high-speed joyride, only to crash right into their police car. And a suspected car thief attempts to outrun the cops on a bike. It's mid-morning in West London. Robbery squad officers are in pursuit of a man on a bike. PC Stacey Treffry and her undercover colleague believe him to be a car thief as they saw him peeking inside a car. But just as the suspect thinks he's getting away, his mobile falls from his pocket.
Dropped his phone as well.
As he's unlikely to leave his mobile behind, the cops know the chase is as good as over.
FH, it's going to be a stop. Outside PC World, Wandsworth Bridge.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Made me panic.
No, you're here because you just dropped your phone.
That's why you stopped.
No, I was going to stop.
No, you weren't. You were keeping going. Why would you have stopped? What's that all about then?
Panic. She was just the way you was just coming at me.
No, it wasn't. It's because you saw us go by you, you stopped, you looked at us, and then when you saw I was coming back, you turned around and went the other way, didn't you? That's why.
No, because I was coming PC World. I didn't even realise.
Being searched, okay? PC 25 from Hammersmith Police Station, okay?
Why have you got 2 phones?
Because one's a personal and I've just got a contract for my birthday.
Oh, okay. Why have you got so much money in?
We're going to buy trainers and going on holiday.
The undercover officer returns to where they spotted the suspect eyeing up cars to look for clues that might explain what he was up to.
We've been back down to where the cars were. There's not been tampered with. There's nothing obvious on showing the cars either.
Although he returns empty-handed, he's convinced the man was up to no good.
Spoke to a few people down there. You've been hanging around down there a little while, haven't you? Up and down that road.
I'm not going to say nothing because you won't believe me, will you?
Well, no, because someone's just told me.
All we want is you to tell the truth,
I've told
be
you.
honest,
I've told you the truth.
and then we'll get through things a lot
Told you the
quicker
truth.
and simpler.
But are you going to be released? I've no doubt you're up to something. People who are just law-abiding members of the community just stop for police when they're asked to. They don't try and ride off, especially when we're alongside them saying stop. They just stop. you know what I mean? The only reason you stopped was because you dropped your phone. We know that, you know that. Hoping he had something on him, drugs or going equipped to steal, something like that, but nothing to say. Just let him go, unfortunately.
Can I go?
You're going home now, yeah?
Yeah, I'm going there.
If they'd been in a marked police car, they could have nicked him for refusing to stop.
He's failed to stop for us, but that's not an offence because we're not in a marked police car, so...
For the robbery squad, it's the only downside of being in an unmarked car. On a nearby estate in Fulham, robbery squad officers are trying to intercept a stolen moped that is being ridden at breakneck speed by two girls.
As soon as they saw the police car, they rode straight off back towards the place it was stolen from.
The situation presents the robbery squad with an impossible dilemma. Hold back and the girls will get away, go in too hard and it could end in disaster.
The last thing we want to do is be chasing a motorbike which has probably got two young people on and possibly without crash helmets.
They suddenly catch a glimpse of a moped speeding away from them.
Can I have a...
But it's not the stolen moped.
Negative.
The two girls and the stolen moped remain at large, but their run from the law is about to end in near tragedy. Youths robbing mobile phones is a massive problem for the robbery squad. In London, they nick around 200 mobiles every day. So, when the robbery team hear a youth has been robbed of his mobile, they're quick to respond.
The robbery just taking place, two suspects.
Two males have stolen a mobile phone from one of a group of teenagers hanging out in the park. Knowing the suspects can't have got far, PT's Hargate and Payne are hoping a witness can spot them.
So what we're going to do is we're going to have a drive around the area quickly, all right? Because they're trying to make their way out the area, all right?
Right, would you recognise them again?
Yeah.
Right, just keep your eyes peeled then, looking out all the way around. If you see him, just say to us, that's them, stop.
Across town, the robbery squad are getting ready for another manhunt, but this time they're dealing with every copper's worst nightmare, what appears to be an Uzi submachine gun.
This is him. He's 21. He's got warning signals of violent weapons and drugs.
A man has taken photo snaps of himself brandishing the Uzi and left them to be developed at a pharmacy.
We've spoken to the firearms inquiries team, the experts. They said they can't be sure if it's real or replica, but in their opinion, it looks pretty real.
Nicknamed Spray and Pray, capable of firing up to 1,000 rounds a minute, the Uzi would cause widespread carnage and bloody mayhem if used on the streets of London.
Another telltale sign is the rag round it, which would assume if he's got half a brain, to stop his prints or his DNA getting onto the gun if it ever gets found by the police. But mainly the idea is just do a Section 18 on that 117 and look for it there.
As the man is already well known to the police, it doesn't take long for them to track him down to an address in West London where he's arrested.
Yeah.
But there's no sign of the Uzi.
Let's have a quick look through the rooms.
It's going to be awesome.
Door's been locked.
Another team rushes to his home to try and find the weapon before it can be moved on.
We're going to go down to his address before anyone can be alerted that he has been stopped. We're going to go to the address and execute the warrant and see if we can find the gun.
PC Payne is on the lookout for the two phone thieves when the witness spots them.
I recognise his jeans, I think.
Which one?
The one with the jeans.
Will, tell them where we are. Police officers! Mate, you, stand over there. Listen, we're police officers from the robbery squad at Hammersmith, all right? A witness has said that it may be you who's been involved in that robbery, all right? Going to search for stolen property. Have you got anything on you shouldn't have? No. Whose phone's that?
As they are searched, one of the young men takes exception to having his belt area touched.
Why are you going around that phone?
Why? Because people often conceal stolen property.
You know you're actually like looking trying to, that's what it seems like.
I've got a wife and kids, you don't need to worry, all right?
The witness didn't get a clear view of the suspects' faces, so if the robbery squad are to prosecute, they need the victim to identify them as his attackers.
We're doing a street ID with two robbery suspects.
Rather than wait for an ID parade at the Nick, they arrange one of their own in the street.
Follow this officer there.
The two suspects are made to walk past the unmarked police car. The victim is hidden in the back seat behind the woman officer.
It's a score, Fro.
Well, he said yes for this one. Right, he definitely did it. He was with
The victim identifies his attackers.
Right, hold your arms out.
Is he completely positive? Yeah, no doubt. That's it.
They are arrested and taken into custody.
That's it, really. Happy?
Yeah.
The Tearaway Girls' high-speed joyride on the moped has come to a dramatic end.
I turned to my right and saw a moped screaming around the corner with a young black girl and a young white girl on the back, very fast. I think it swerved to avoid a Golf and then smashed quite spectacularly into our parked car.
By crashing into PC Sorch's parked police car, they've run right into the jaws of their pursuers.
It looks like she tried mounting a little curb bit where our car's parked, and she's come off and she's cleared into the front of our police vehicle, where you can see the frontal damage to our car.
By riding at reckless speeds with no helmets, the girls' joyride so nearly ended in tragedy. In a bizarre twist to an already extraordinary incident, the only witness just happens to be a doctor.
The lady in the silver Golf, the witness, is a doctor, and she just had a look at the young lady on the floor and she thinks she's got an open fracture of her tibula, so it's sort of quite a badly broken leg.
Despite breaking a leg, the girl continues to fight the authorities.
Push me away, darling. I'm here to help you.
It looks like her legs hit one of the metal barriers, and that's what snapped it.
The upshot of it was the moped was stolen, but they're not going to be arrested tonight. First aid being the main thing. We'll make an appointment for next week to come back in, and we can talk to them then in interview about what happened.
Having detained the man who took photos of himself brandishing an Uzi, the Met officers are now looking for the weapon at his home address.
Oh no, what's happened now?
I'll explain in a minute.
Oh, this is so bad. What? Oh, go on, help me fuck yourself, love. Go up.
Firearms recovery dogs just turned up, because the dogs could probably do a better job than we will in terms of sniffing out the firearm if it's in there. Once he's done that, the dog handler will come out and then we'll go and manually look ourselves into each of the rooms.
An extensive search with the dogs reveals no gun, but the robbery squad don't leave empty-handed.
A mobile phone from a robbery last week basically has been found in one of the rooms. The chap who owns the room, he's still here, so he's going to get arrested for robbery, taken back and interviewed about the phone, because obviously it's from a robbery and it's in his bedroom. He's got to answer questions about it, so he's going to get arrested now.
The very next day at the Nick, and there's still no sign of the gun, but the man in the photos has explained just what he was up to.
When we interviewed him, he stated that it's his friend's gun, a paintball gun allegedly. We can't prove otherwise at the moment unless we find it. We asked him with regards to the gun, there seems to be a tea towel holding in his hand, holding over the handle of the gun, as if he was trying to prevent his fingerprints or DNA going onto the gun. He said he was just doing that for show, just to show off. He said he was getting the pictures to look cool. He said he was going to print the pictures out and put them on his wall for some reason, as you do. We explained that obviously it's quite dangerous. He understood that and apologised, but then again he wouldn't tell us whose gun it was, so we can't make any inquiries regards to that person. So it sort of helped us, but not enough.
Officers Chris Hockenhull and Chris Penman see what they believe to be a drug deal going down on the streets of Fulham.
I'm stopping him, he said he's got a little bit of cannabis on him.
In a change of the law, cannabis users are now only given a warning so long as they aren't caught again within a year.
We've got this new form that we can give out to people, which saves us a lot of time. Doesn't mean we have to arrest them all the time. They get a warning. Admittedly, they get pretty pissed off that we take their drugs.
This man has already had one warning, and although PT Hockenhull is happy to let him off with another, he's only worried about losing his weed.
You've given me this thing, yeah, and you've just been...
Listen to me. Listen, I'm going to get told off by my bosses for not arresting you because you've already had a warning. Yeah? See?
Alright, man, yeah, have a good day, yeah? Have a good weekend.
And you, haven't spoilt your Friday night, have it?
No, man, it's still early.
There you are then. You can go and buy some more, can't you?
No, none of that, man. Yeah.
And right around the corner, they spot the other party in what could have been a drug deal.
How you doing, friend? You all right? Spoke to your friend. You know the one you came and did a bit of a handshake with?
Yeah.
He had a bit of cannabis on him. It looked to us that you might have given him that cannabis, all right? Have you got any cannabis on you?
Just a little smoke.
Pardon?
A little smoke.
A little smoke. Since you've admitted that you've got a bit of cannabis, you're going to get searched for drugs, all right?
Yeah.
Is it a little tiny bit, is it?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, blinking heck. It is a bit tiny, isn't it? How much did you pay for that?
Just get it.
Just get it. No bloody wonder I wasn't going to pay for that. Turn around for me, mate. You haven't been in trouble with the police before?
No.
Never been stopped? Not been stopped in this?
I just...
Without being rude, stop driving this car.
Yeah, for real.
You had a little bit of cannabis, we can't let you have it back. All right?
No, that's cool, man.
Are you willing to sign this form to say the police are going to destroy it and you get a warning to basically say that you've been stopped with a little bit of cannabis on you? All it is a warning. But you've got to understand that if you get stopped again in the next 12 months, you can be arrested because you get one warning. In the end, it's still illegal. Shouldn't be having it. All right?
I don't buy it for real, like, it's just sometimes you want to smoke. And
You want to smoke today, though, aren't you?
Uniformed officers have seen a man acting very suspiciously. On spotting their police car, he swapped seats with his passenger. Sergeant Andy Jessup and PC Santo Sorchi are called to assist. Police believe the man is driving while disqualified, but he's refusing to give any details. A search soon explains the man's paranoid behaviour.
Oh, beautiful. That's a crack pipe.
Just keep your hands there.
There you go, fella.
Cheers, mate.
Out of the blue, the man kicks his crack pipe off the wall.
What are you doing that for?
And so PC Sorchi keeps a close eye on him.
Why are you tensing out your arm? Why are you pushing against us? So you don't kick out like you did on that crack pipe.
Well, there's no need to step on my foot in it. That's what I'm saying to you.
Well, maybe you shouldn't have kicked that crack pipe in anger then.
Yeah.
Really?
Back at Hammersmith Nick, the two suspects had hoped to keep the location of the stolen mobile a secret from PC Hargate, but under questioning, it slipped out.
It's ran down the bottom of his leg and it's dropped out onto the floor. And it's been identified as the same phone which was stolen from the victim of the robbery that we've just been to. He's now been booked in and he's sat in the cells, and we're going to go and do some searches of his property and go from there.
The same suspect was allegedly heard bragging about his crime spree, so the robbery squad have high hopes of finding stolen items that might link him to other crimes. At 1 a.m, after driving 15 miles across London, they get to his front door.
He had some difficulty in explaining where he lived, so hopefully this is the right address, because it's a long drive for nothing otherwise.
Hello, sorry to scare you.
But the lady at the door clearly has no connection to the suspect.
The man in question is a young black lad. This is an old white granny who's living here, and we seem to have disturbed her sleep as well.
They've been given the wrong address.
He doesn't live here. What is it, 1:30 in the morning, and that idiot has sent us here, given that address, and doesn't realise the consequences of his action.
But the young man is just about to. He's still locked up in the nick. Coming up, the Met's drug squad bust a West London crack den.
Go.
And the robbery squad nick a suspected dealer who crashes a stolen car.
Sit up straight.
At Shepherd's Bush Police Station, drug squad officers are planning a raid on two properties they believe are being used as crack dens.
We're doing two addresses today, all within one terraced house. In regards to the ground floor, intelligence suggests that is involved in the consumption and supply of cocaine. This is
All kinds of cops have been called in to assist, but the drug squad are the masterminds of today's raid. So the gangs they infiltrate can't identify them, their faces must remain hidden.
second floor intelligence suggests that female IC3 is involved in supplying Class A controlled drugs. Haven't got a picture of her, unfortunately. She's got previous convictions for handling and deception and a caution for possession of drugs.
The territorial support group, the strong arm of the Met, will provide the muscle.
Rapid entry gains both ground floor flats A and B in full protective clothing. TSG officers to secure all occupants inside the premises and keep them in situ.
Taking out the dealers is the only way police can fight this highly destructive drug epidemic. There are now 46,000 crack users in London, but it's a high-risk battle as the dealers are controlled by gangs who are often armed. So they take the dealers completely by surprise. An ordinary van will be driven by drug squad officers posing as delivery drivers.
No one knows that it's a police vehicle. There's no one in uniform driving it, and there's no windows or anything for anyone to see in, to see the officers standing inside it.
And hidden in the back will be their special delivery. 20 highly trained TSG officers ready to take them down.
No one will know that they're police officers until they get out and start shouting as they're hopefully gaining entry by force to 2 flats.
Go, go, go.
After a month of careful planning, this is the moment the drug squad have been waiting for. A head cam on one of the officers captures the action.
Back off! Please downstairs, no suspect!
Yeah, 2 adults, 2 kids. Just 2 of you stay in this flat, the rest withdraw to the van.
CAD 5269, could you update it to confirm entry gained? The ground floor's empty, but it looks like someone's recently been in there. Just going to keep an eye out for the gentleman occupier from the ground floor. And in the upstairs, we've got 2 adults and 2 children who one of our officers is going to go and explain the fact that we've got a warrant issued by the court for us to search the premises.
Both flats are under suspicion. The drug squad believe upstairs is being used to deal crack cocaine and the flat below is being used by their punters to smoke it.
Found a white substance, but I believe it to be crack. Scale sat next to her as well with white powdery residue on a digital scale, so she's been arrested for that.
Everyone was handcuffed and one of the women was fidgeting, uncomfortable, apparently trying to hide something. And when she was asked to stand up for the search, that's fallen on the floor, which we believe to be 2 fair-sized rocks of crack cocaine.
The raid is a big success for the drug squad. The crack den is closed down and another suspected dealer is taken off the streets. At Shepherd's Bush Nick, PC Chris Hockenhull and Carol Pilling are about to meet the victim of yet another mobile robbery.
Just take a seat there a minute and you need to explain to me what exactly happened.
I'm walking through the green.
Yeah.
And this guy pulled me over.
Yeah.
And he's basically said to me that I owe him money.
Right.
And I've told him I don't understand what you're saying, I don't owe you any money. And he's grabbed me physically, like he grabbed my arm, gone through my back pocket and taken my mobile phone and said, I'm not going to give it to you until you pay us back the money.
How much money does he think that you owe?
He's telling me that I owe him £20. I'm not owing any of the money.
Right. Will you come out of the car and try and find these? Yeah?
PC Hockenhull believes this man to be another casualty in a spate of mobile phone robberies, but he's about to find out he's been seriously misled. Back at the raid, led by drug squad officers, the search of the bottom flat has revealed evidence of crack consumption, but only a small amount of cannabis is found.
That's called a crack pipe. It's basically a pipe that they use to put drugs in the top. And there's a bit of a used syringe in there as well.
As they search his flat, the tenant returns to find his windows smashed and that he's under suspicion of dealing.
You got any controlled substances on you? No, I don't think that. You got from what methadone? Where have you just got this from? I took it out with me. Well, that's far too much for one bit, innit? So have you just been out and bought that?
No.
The tenant of the bottom flat claims he's been bullied into allowing his flat to be used as a crack den by the suspected dealers upstairs. As he is only found with a small amount of cannabis, police accept that, far from being the villain, he could be a victim in all this.
It's often the case that vulnerable individuals, perhaps drug users themselves, are bullied or threatened into allowing their properties to be used for other people to smoke Class A drugs, and then for the drug dealers themselves to force their way in and actually start using the premises to deal Class A drugs. Mr. is alleging that that's what has happened in his case.
I could have disappeared, but I thought I'd come down and see what's happening. It's my profit after all at the end of the day until they throw me out. I don't need this. Just don't need it. Especially when it's smashed windows. If I'd been in, I'd have opened the door.
There were no Class A drugs at the address. He received a warning for the cannabis that we found there.
PC Chris Hockenhull is driving around looking for a suspect involved in a phone robbery, with the victim in the back of his car.
If he's going to go and flog the phone, where do you reckon he's going to flog it?
Phone shop, probably, or cash converters.
With little else to go on, PC Hockenhull takes a long shot and calls the stolen mobile.
I'm with he wants his phone back, basically. Whereabouts are you then? You've had a BP, oh mate. I've been sitting a bit.
Incredibly, the suspected phone thief is prepared to meet PC Hockenhull, a meeting he doesn't hold up much hope for.
I've just spoken to somebody on the phone. They're claiming they're by the BP on Shepherd's Green, so we'll just drive around and see if there is anybody that can identify. But I think he's probably having a little play with us.
On their way to meet the suspected phone thief, the young man spots 2 men he claims witnessed the robbery.
That guy right in the middle, the white guy, he saw everything that happened.
The guy in the middle there?
Yeah.
Did you see him take a phone?
No.
But you're not going to get in any trouble.
No, I didn't. I didn't see anyone. If I saw anything naughty going on like that, I'd get involved.
No worries, mate.
And from what I know, I don't think he'd do that anyway. I think he's trying to get him in trouble. Yeah.
He's claiming he's been robbed on Shepherd's Green, basically.
As the young man's account of his robbery just doesn't add up, PC Hockenhull asks for a check on the police national computer.
He made a call earlier on today, what he got nicked for, that he was being chased by two guys with baseball bats along North End Road. Turned out to be a load of pony. We nicked him for wasting police time. We given him a PND as well for it. Whatever he tells you is rubbish, basically.
Knowing that the young man in his car was charged with wasting police time 2 hours ago, PC Hockenhull keeps his meeting with the suspected phone thief. It's the only way he can figure out what really happened.
Whereabouts are you? I'm with Yeah, all he wants is his phone back.
PC Hockenhull calls the phone thief again.
Oh, did he?
This time he hears the other side of the story.
How come they're saying that you've robbed an old bloke? Because if I find who you have and I get the name of the old bloke and you do match the description, I'll come round and nick you for robbery. I don't reckon you've even told me one little bit of truth today.
The suspected phone thief shows up with the phone.
No, this is supposed to bring back the old man's money back for him, that's all it is.
Does the old man want
The phone had been taken as a deposit after the young man in the back of the car failed to return money he'd taken from an old man to buy drinks with.
You've got no respect for us, the elders, you understand what I'm saying?
All right.
Yeah?
While dealing with this man's claims, two key members of the robbery squad were unavailable to deal with potentially life-threatening incidents.
You got your phone back, I'm not nicking him. You wanted the phone back, didn't you? Yeah, well you got your phone back. See you later. You're not even get a thank you?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
He's lucky not to be arrested again for wasting valuable police time. Sergeant Andy Jessup and PC Santo Sorci see a young male slipping something into his pocket as they drive past. As they're in an area where weapons are often carried, they do a stop and search. They can't take any risks in case the man is armed, so they have to deal with him harshly.
Did you just see our car back there? As I've just come under the bridge, I saw you whack something into your pocket nice and quickly.
Well, then you can check.
PC Sorci is even more suspicious when he sees a bandana that could connect the young man to a local gang.
What's the bandana for? You a pirate?
No, yeah, maybe.
Are you in a gang?
No, man, I'm not even in a gang.
Look at that fancy t-shirt.
I don't even smoke, so you won't find no drugs or anything.
I wasn't looking for drugs, I'm looking for weapons.
Weapons?
Yeah.
You carry a weapon.
Why you got that bandana?
Oh, because I like the colour.
Just watch him a set, I just want to get the old one.
Sergeant Jessup takes exception to his partner being addressed as a boy.
You won't find nothing, boy. Did you just call him boy? It's called slang.
Okay, TNT, over.
I think you meant to say officer. Not really. Is it that you whacked in your pockets?
Maybe. I don't know, I don't remember. I have a very bad memory.
Oh dear.
What they believe to be a weapon turns out to be just an inhaler.
Have you been arrested before?
Yeah, twice.
What for?
Robbery.
Did you go to court?
Yeah, and I bust case.
You bust case? What does that mean?
It means that I weren't guilty.
The search reveals no weapons, and so the young man is free to go.
Thanks for your cooperation.
It's 6 p.m. on a busy Friday in Hammersmith. Sergeant Andy Jessup and Will Kiptitsi get a call for urgent assistance. Two other members of the robbery squad have ended up in a high-speed pursuit of a stolen car with a known drug dealer at the wheel.
Keep going straight.
The car has crashed and the driver decided to run for it. Sergeant Jessup and PC Kiptitsi are directed to where their colleagues, now on foot, have fought the desperate car thief and pinned him to the ground.
FH14 with 563 now.
PC's Richie Hargate and Jeff Payne have run almost a mile in pursuit of the driver of the stolen car.
You searched him yet, Rich?
When they crashed the car, the passenger and the driver went in different directions. The passenger seems to have got away.
Yeah, passenger. I think he's going after. IC3 now.
Is he still going after?
You're under arrest, mate, on suspicion of taking and driving away a motorcycle. I.e. the Mini that you just jumped out of.
Richie chased this idiot to here, while he's been detained, and the males got away. down the towpath of the Thames. But at the moment, the car's confirmed has been stolen. Sit up straight. But that's some distance from where we are now, and that's quite a long chase for Richie. That's why they're suffering a bit, I think.
Actually, come across the other side.
The driver of the stolen car throws up on the pavement. Sergeant Jessup knows the man is a drug dealer and that he's desperate not to get nicked. He believes he could have placed his life in danger by swallowing his drugs.
Wake up. Have you taken anything, yes or no? Huh? No. Why is it you being sick then? Have you swallowed anything, yes or no? I want an answer.
Yes, I have.
What have you swallowed? You must know what you swallowed.
I don't know, that's the asking.
Right, have you swallowed drugs?
But the suspect won't give Sergeant Jessup a straight answer.
Have you swallowed drugs? Have you swallowed any drugs? Yes or no?
While they wait for an ambulance to show, news comes through that the passenger from the stolen car has also been found hiding in a wheelie bin.
Excellent, your mate's been caught as well. Never mind.
Back at the scene of the crash, the robbery squad begin to piece together what happened. PC's Hargate and Payne were immediately suspicious when they spotted the Mini. They've a copper's instinct for spotting foul play.
The way that they were driving, the way that they were looking around, they looked suspicious.
You just know, to be honest with you.
They smashed into that car there, and one of them's gone that way, and the other one's hopped over the A4. So me and Jeffro's gone to the A4, and Stell's gone after the passenger. We go after the driver.
That was quite a long way.
That's why you got us being sick.
You know, when you got your Met vest, it's all right if you like this. When you got your Met vest underneath, it's a nightmare trying to chase people and breathe.
Back where the pursuit came to an end, the driver of the stolen car is also feeling the effects of the chase. He's taken to hospital so they can check if he's swallowed any drugs.
Right, you need to be truthful now. Tell these guys what you've taken, if you've taken anything.
Coming up, the robbery squad stumble upon a secret drug stash.
Is it?
And PC's Hargate and Payne get involved in an unsavoury street dispute.
So you've had sex with her?
Friday night is the busiest night of the week for members of London's Met Police Force. It's when incidents involving drugs and alcohol spill over onto the streets. Eagle-eyed PC's Richie Hargate, Mike Payne and Joe Walsh spot what they believe is two men and a woman involved in a drugs deal. By being out and about looking for signs of trouble, the robbery squad team come across all kinds of criminal activity.
Joe, get hold of him, get hold of him!
Just like you like then, mate. Right, you got any drugs on you?
Nothing.
I think I just saw you deal with drugs to that girl up there. For that, you're going to be searched.
Search me. Just keep your hands where I can see them. You don't have to do anything. I'll be doing everything.
Search me. You can
I know.
search me.
I am going to search you. I've just told you I'm searching.
Go on.
All right.
They got pockets or they just boxer shorts? Don't take your trousers down. I just asked if they got pockets. How much drink you had?
To check the two men and woman are telling the same version of events, the woman is taken to one side.
It looks from where we're stood, the drug deal just took place there. Have you got any gear on you? Seriously?
See, I've got a picture of them.
You been arrested for drugs before?
Nope.
Really?
They were actually just trying to ask me was I doing sex.
What did they say?
Load you up for £4. That's what they said.
You're a prostitute.
Am I? No.
Are you a prostitute?
No.
The woman claims the men offered her money for sex. But there are a number of discrepancies between the men's and woman's version of what happened.
So you've had sex with her?
No. No, he hasn't.
So you gave her £4?
No, he didn't. I asked her a fag at first, and that's when they asked me.
What, so she said she'd do it for a tenner?
Yeah, she said. No, are you cheeky bastard?
Hey. Is that no trace of it?
But with no drugs found in their possession, the two men and the woman are free to go.
All right, boys, we done? We happy? Yeah. Gents, thanks for your time. Don't stop any females again. It looked to us like a drug deal was taking place. The females got previous for crack using. Having spoke to her, she says that they offered her £4 to have sex with her. They're saying that she asked for £10 from them to have sex with her. Something untoward was going off when we arrived, but they've been searched. We didn't find anything on them, and they've gone on their way.
It's 1 a.m. As the car thief who crashed the stolen Mini is suspected of other crimes, the robbery squad are moving in on his flat.
to search his address to see if we can find any stolen goods.
For Sergeant Jessup, it's looking a bit of a long shot.
Probably can't get in, just haven't got any keys.
They are buzzed into the block by a neighbour.
There's the police to get the door, please.
And when no one answers the door, their visit appears to be in vain. But the course of their evening is about to take a dramatic turn. PC Walsh decides to look out of a window off the public hallway. She spots a plastic bag wedged behind a drain pipe. And inside a number of small white packages.
567. 567.
Oh, is it? Don't well then, Jane.
It's not Parmesan cheese, is it?
Where was it?
Just in the drain pipe there.
If the suspected drugs can be linked to the driver of the stolen Mini, it would explain why he was so desperate to get away from the cops. A quick search outside the flat reveals a number of other drug stashes, which they might not have found if they'd arrived with the keys.
Lovely. I bet they couldn't fill this house all matched up. In cash?
What were we saying about not finding anything?
Convinced further drugs will be found inside the flat, they decide to break down the door after no one answers.
Police officers, why don't you come to the door?
A man inside the flat says he's slept through it all. While the search of the flat begins in earnest, items continue to be found all around the public hallway.
Found a couple of hard drives for a computer, an Audi car key in the cupboard there, air compressor for the car and some junk leads and stuff. And this here, a ThinkPad. Not really the place you want to keep it, is it? Just down here. So,
In between two walls.
And inside the flat, an air pistol is found behind the suspect's bed. The robbery squad spend the rest of the night searching the flat and the lobby for further evidence of criminal involvement. At 6 a.m, the robbery squad's search of the flat is finally over. They head back to the Nick with cash, stolen items linked to various burglaries, and a sizable amount of crack cocaine. The only thing they haven't got is concrete proof to pin it all on the driver of the stolen Mini.
Because they are technically in a public place, it'd be down to forensics, and there could be DNA from when people have wrapped up the drugs.
For the robbery squad at least, it's case closed.
Yeah, it's a really good find. Then it'll be down to the CPS and what they decide. But we've done our bit.
Coming up on Brit Cops Frontline Crime, the police action series exclusive to Bravo. In Wales, raids, violent arrests and high-speed chases. Devon and Cornwall's specialist units take on vice.
How much was she charging you?
And the cruel sea. And in London, the Met tackle armed criminals and drug dealers.
Large bag of cannabis.
Bravo's cameras capture all the action as these cops catch the criminals.
Right, you're next.